Hi there, my brothers and sisters in Christ. In this video, I'll be sharing two separate dreams that I had a few days ago relating to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed Bin Salman. In the first dream, I remember I was indoors inside of a tech center chaperoning children, which were between the ages of 12 and 14, and maybe some probably were between 12 and 14, and some may have been 15 years of age. It was about 15 to 20 of them, I remember. In this dream, the main focus was trying to find youth leaders. And every one of them wanted to be a leader. So in order to choose these leaders, we ended up playing a game. And it was said whoever won would be the leaders. For example, in a game of basketball, there would be a shootout. Whoever won would be a leader that would pick who he or she wanted to be on their team to play a game of basketball. Okay, so while we played this game, I'm not sure what type of game we were playing, but like I said, the main concept was to find leaders within the youth. While the game was going on, it seemed to be going on forever, and then it somewhat changed. And then I noticed that these kids, I noticed one, it could have been all of them, but I noticed one kid. He ended up having a tech device in his hand. And while having this tech device in his hand, he was being taught and learned to master whatever he was being taught, which was some type of technology. And it seemed like the kid that I seen seemed to enjoy it. He seemed to enjoy learning what he was being taught. To me, it kind of reminded me of clouding computing or coding somewhat, but I'm not too sure. But I knew as he was, and I realized as he held this device in his hand, he didn't know much about it. But as he was being taught, it's like he became more interested in it because he was able to master it. Not only was he taught it, he enjoyed what he was being taught. He was happy that he was learning it, and was excited that he mastered what he had been taught. I seen the joy in his eyes. While they were playing with these devices or learning these devices, I remembered hearing in the beginning and towards the end of the dream a woman speaking twice, but I never seen her in this dream. This woman reminded me of, I guess, one of the children's mother. She was upset and concerned that there was something suspicious of what her child or children were being taught. I realized in this dream that it was this device or what they were being taught was to keep the youth up to date with a changing world / a changing society. Meanwhile, while all of this was happening, I noticed Mohammed Bin Salman walking around these server data machines, one by one, checking and examining them. He knew we were there. We knew he was there. But in this dream, we never communicated. It kind of reminded me of a father in a home and his children are there. We know that he's there. He knows we're there. He communicates, yes, but in this dream, it's like he was really focused and busy on checking these server data machines, which were like aligned against the wall of this center in which we were at. It was lined against the sides of the wall, and me and the kids were like in the middle, just doing whatever. Just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. But yes, like I said, the mother, she was very skeptical and suspicious about what the kids were learning. But I basically knew in this dream the reason that they were learning these things were to keep up with a changing world and to keep up with this changing society. And that was the end of the dream. I did not know what the server data machine was. I didn't know what it was. I just seen it in my dream, and I shared my dream with my sister. And I basically explained it to her, and then off the top of her head, since she's really good and very familiar with technology, she basically told me what it was. She actually gave me that name. She said it's a server. It was like from a data center. And I said to myself, let me look this up on Google to see if this is what I seen in my dream. Because like I said, I didn't know the name of it. I didn't know exactly what it was. And surely, when I looked it up on Google, I was surprised. I was like, yes, that is true. That exactly what it is. So it's basically a server data center. That's what he was walking around, checking them, examining them one by one. I noticed in his dream. And then the dream ended. And a few days after that, I had another dream about him. In this dream, we were in like a small room, and he was sitting down. Mohammed Bin Salman was sitting down on a chair, and right next to a chair, there was this desk, and there was a computer. And with him was another Arabian individual who seemed pretty nice in his dream. I'm just basically explaining to you everything that I noticed and everything that I felt in the dream. Not saying that I would warm up to them or whatnot. I'm just basically just saying what I dreamt. But yeah, in his dream, he seemed more nice than Mohammed Bin Salman. But Mohammed Bin Salman, like I said, was sitting on a chair. Right next to him was this desk, and right next to him was his desk, and on that desk was a computer. And the computer was somewhat facing me and not him. He was just sitting right next to it. And I seen numbers on the computer, and I knew in this dream that he was putting down a deposit, but I don't know for sure how much that deposit was. But I knew he was putting down a deposit for something, and I don't know what it was for. And as the dream continued, I don't know, I found myself tweaking with the deposit number, and I caught myself, and I was like, oh, I made a mistake or something like that. And then I guess somebody else came in that room and basically fixed what I had changed as far as the deposit, in which he was putting down, and it being in the computer system to state that this is how much he's going to put down or whatnot. And I also realized in his dream, as the dream continued, I noticed that the U.S., I don't know if they took his place as far as putting it down a deposit, but I noticed that the U.S. also put down a deposit. In this dream, I don't know how much the U.S. put down. I don't know why. What was the purpose of this deposit? What they were doing? And I talked to my sister in Christ. She said they may be joining together to put down a deposit on something that would be both of theirs. I really don't know. I don't want to say that for sure because I don't know. But that's the second dream that I had. And in this dream, I don't know why I said this in this dream. I said, when I realized that the U.S. was going to put down a deposit, I said to myself, well, I could put down a deposit for them. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to put down a deposit for them because they may not end up giving me back my money. That's what I was saying. I was like, they may end up saying, oh, you put down the deposit, but we never asked you to put down the deposit. Therefore, we're not going to give you your money. That's what all was going in my head when I had this dream. But after that, the dream ended. I waited some days and I went over it with my sister in Christ. And many of you may have interpretations yourself about this dream, but this is the third dream that I had about Mohammed bin Salman. I remember couple years ago, I started researching him and keeping my eyes on him to see everything that he was doing and whatnot. And I was even asking the Lord, like 3 years ago, Lord, confirm to me if this man plays a major role in the end time prophecies or whatnot. And all the time that I was praying, I never got a dream about him, never got an answer from the Lord. And then it's like now, 3 years after, almost 4 years after, 3 years after, I would say, that I'm starting to get dreams about him. I mean, I left it alone, and then out of nowhere, I got a dream. And then days after that, I had these 2 dreams. So it's like at the right time, the Lord is starting to really show me things of him about Mohammed bin Salman. So I just wanted to share this dream with you all, and y'all take care.